welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Joe. We're here at the Lost, well, we aren't at the Lost Cause Ranch. We're at the shop. And behind me, look at that. Doesn't that thing look nice? That's the after shot. And today, you're gonna see us bring this 96 Disco back to life. Right now, you're saying, that doesn't look so bad. Yeah, this is the after. Let me toss up a couple pictures of when we purchased this thing. This is a 1996 Land Rover Discovery, first gen Discovery, and this one only has 88,000 miles and is out of Arizona. Nice southern vehicle. As you may be able to see there, look at how clean that guy is underneath. But we purchased this thing not running, and that's how we like to get them. We are the Rover Rescue, the Rover Humane Society. We're a no-kill shelter for all Land Rovers. So this is another one right there that we decided to bring back to life. We didn't want to see this one meet its demise just yet. It was in pretty rough shape when it showed up here. It had someone who I don't think knew enough about it trying to fix it. As you can see in this photo there, they had the ignition switch all knackered up and swapped over to a new one, and it would have a crank no start. Crank no start. Yeah, I guess they do have security problems, so could be an issue. But we went ahead and cranked on it and tested the fuel pressure like you do. What are the three things you need? Air, fuel, and spark. Well, we had spark, we had air, no fuel. None of that. So, no fuel pressure. Well, let's try a fuel pump. Put a fuel pump in. Starts up. Problem solved. Except, as you can hear right here, problem not solved. Had a little compression leaking out the side of the head gasket. It's not supposed to do that. So that led us to a little top end refresh. Tore the heads off, new head gaskets, ARP head studs. So that took care of the running issues, made her nice and solid. But then we went ahead and decided to need a little bit of a lift, a little bigger tire. So let's get into that whole process right now. All right, so Ted is down in there, getting close to the heads coming off. And interestingly enough, as you heard, there was a little compression leaking. One side appears to have been done. It's got some orange RTV, some paint marks on the bolts, and some newer looking head bolts. But whoever did that decided it wasn't worth doing the left side, which has original looking bolts, no orange RTV, and the head gasket leaking. So that begs the question, if you have a Land Rover with the V8 that's known to have head gasket issues, why would you go far enough in and just do one? So you can do one later and double your labor, or give up on the car because it needs a head gasket and sell it to someone like us. Makes no sense. But this thing only has 88,000 miles. So it was worth putting two head gaskets in, just not to them apparently. Whoever was in there last did a swell job of gluing that guy on. So we are getting there with a little rehab of our Disco 1. Next up on this guy is to work on the exterior. Ted's got the thing running. Got the new head gaskets and ARP studs in it. Got the Terra Firma 2-inch lift in there. And got the new tires on it. This thing drives awesome. And now with the 88,000 miles that it has on it, we need to make it look that way too. The paint's a little chooched. She's pretty chalky. And we're gonna see what we can do here. Yeah, it's on, yeah, pretty chalky. It's on my hand. So this thing was an Arizona car, so got baked in the sun, which is unfortunate. But we would rather have some baked paint than rust. And rust, we do not have. Kind of hard to see there, but common area on the Disco 1s, starts rotting there, nothing. Frame is pretty nice on this one. Underneath, pretty nice as well. This is going to end up being a pretty nice example of an early Discovery. Let's see, Arizona. We're going to start off with getting rid of this purple tint. No one likes that. The way we go about this is we take our little McCullough steamer and steam the inside. A little razor blade action, comes off clean, no scraping. And I'll show you that right now. All right, we start with the window cracked a little bit so we can get that top edge. And then we just steam it to warm it up. All right, I wait until it's fairly warm to the touch, and then we can start our edge. You want to make sure you get both the tint and the outer layer started. Make this a little easier. So get a clean start. Once you have that little flap, continue with the steam. I'll try and... Oh, we almost had it in one piece. Just one little guy there. But there you have it. Purple tint removed in one clean sheet. No scraping. So the big trick on this is to have enough heat to get that adhesive to release. And it doesn't actually take that much force. You can kind of feel once you have it warm enough, it just kind of pulls off. No force needed, no scraping afterwards, because this thing had someone remove the window tint prior to us owning it. And then you come up with that nasty mess. Although this one's fairly clean, but that guy is super sticky on the inside. That one's not going to be as fun to clean up. So, heat with some steam, razor blade to start a clean edge, and then yank her off. Clean, no scraping. That's your top tip of the day if you also need to pull the tint off to rescue your Rover. So here's a little better, less blown out in the sun look at it. And yeah, it's dead. The paint's dead. So we'll see if we can get a little shine back on it. But I mean, other than that, it's pretty straight. A couple little scratches, but no real damage. This is probably the worst of it. But in 25 years, if that's what happened, we can deal. We can deal. It's kind of, we'll see what we can do there. That's not that great. But we're going to start by washing it up. And I'll show you guys our little washer setup over here. This area is kind of messy. This is car number 5 that we are slamming together for the auction this week. Prices are kind of high right now, as some of you may know. So we're trying to get some of the stuff we've had laying around and some of the recent trades out and get the money while the money's good. But whatever. Anyways, it is messy. I'm working on it. But here's our little setup. We got our Mighty M 1000 PSI 2.5 gallon per minute pressure washer. We got our air hose. We got our hose reel for the pressure washer. We got our Griot's that is leaking. Yeah. Deionizer so we can do some spot free rinse. We have water filter. We have both hot water and cold water going to the pressure washer. And it's obviously just set on cold water right now. Then we got a little bucket filler, our regular hose, and then some hot water plumbed in over here. And then we got these guys. These guys are awesome. Right there. What? Wait for it. You see what that looks like? Turn them on. Bam. We can paint correct like a mofo. We're gonna start off with my favorite wheel cleaner. While we're working on that white Rover, another Rover, but give you a little sneak peek of an upcoming video. Look at that. Brand new rear quarter frame on a Disco 2. Got that tacked in, body's gonna come off. All right, so we got the bad boy washed up. And over here we got Buffy the Paint Slayer. Yeah, that's our original Flex. We've had this guy for 8 years. The old saying of buy once, cry once holds true. That guy has done thousands of cars. And in 8 years, all we've had to do is replace the backing plate once. Pretty decent. But being this thing is a chooched out single stage, I saved some old pads. We'll use those, chew those up, and those will get tossed. And we're gonna start with the least invasive first and try 3D's one step. Smells like Pez. Like this little guy. This is the Speed 425. I don't know what 425 is, but this works pretty well. I doubt that is going to be aggressive enough to bring that back. After that, we'll try my go-to, which is Griot's Complete Compound. That's a good one stepper as well. I like that. It removes moderate to severe surface defects. If that doesn't work, we'll get out the old heavy cut rubbing compound. And if those don't work, we got a cabinet full of other stuff we can use. And what I think I'm gonna do is I might put together an Amazon store. And I'll put the link down below with some of the stuff we use to bring our cars back to life, detailing wise. Just so you can find it all in one place if you want. So if you're interested in that, look in the description. There's another little trick of mine. I mean, not just mine, but one I use. A little masking tape around the cord. So when it gets stuck on the tire when you're whipping it around, it doesn't come unplugged. All right, so we're gonna start on this fender here and start off with the 3D Speed one step, like I said. And ironically, look at those two logos. Look familiar? Wonder what the story is there. But like I said, least invasive first. We're gonna do the front section of the fender and we'll see what happens. I think that may be the ticket, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run complete compound on the back side. We won't have to get into the rubbing compound. I can guarantee that. So we'll put that guy away. I just wanna see if this guy will do any different here, but that's a good result. Might be hard to pick up. Well, you can see it in the camera, even with the shadows. But that line right there is where we use the one step up front. So we'll try complete compound on the backside, but it is worlds better. This thing is gonna look nice. All right, they are pretty similar. The complete compound from Griot's took out a little more of some of the scratches in there, but either will work. I think we will do the, let's go with the Griot's. We'll do that. So let's get to taping some moldings off. So we have one side completed and it is coming back to life nicely. good old gloss back on her. And it's kind of hard to see in video and picture, but you can see that line right up the middle. And it is considerably nicer over here and still pretty chalky there. Yeah, look at that. That's insane. So one of my favorite little interior detail tools is this guy here. This little air-powered evergreen gun. What you do is you put in your favorite cleaner. You can do degreaser on exterior stuff, but we have Griot's interior cleaner. And this guy shoots out a mixture of air and product. This thing's just awesome to get all the dust out of the vents. Does a good job cleaning some of the carpets. Just good all-around tool. I'll toss up a link down below for one of these or something similar on Amazon if you want to get one of the most useful interior detailing tools out there. So we currently have the door panel off. We are fixing the driver's side outside door handle. We already did the passenger side. They don't like to open all the time when you pull it. Kind of a problem. But what we do here is there is a little rod that you're not going to be able to see, and it is attached to the outside door handle. It goes down to the door latch and must come out of adjustment, but you just pop it off the door handle. It's got a little clip you flip out of the way, pull it out of its little peg, and you tighten it down. It's threaded on the bottom. Give her 5 or 6 turns, snap her back in, good to go. It's that easy. You gotta love Land Rovers. They're so simple in this era that you can fix this in 10 minutes. The newer ones that have like the flush mount door handles, not gonna be the same. So man, this paint came out beautiful. We did kind of destroy some pads. As you can see, there is a lot of that single stage white embedded in that guy. Went through a couple of those. Those are all chooched out. Garbage time for them. But it was worth it. So smooth, so shiny, not dead and chalky like it was before. Just look at how nice that turned out. That is how a 96 with 88,000 miles should look. Little terra firma 2-inch lift on it. 245/75 Kumo AT tires. Just gives it a nice little bump in height. Reasonable, no rubbing. Just a good driver at this point. After a good thorough cleaning, this guy came back to the way it should be with how low a miles. And it is not too bad of shape for being a sun-baked vehicle. And we also got everything back in place on the interior. The cluster was all ripped apart when we got it. Cowl, everything zipped back together. And I'll have to say, this thing turned out pretty well. Look at that. This thing is all set to go now. New plugs and wires, new head gaskets. I don't know if you can see that there. We got right down there ARP studs on it. Kind of bulletproofed, as they say. But it's also got new oil pump, all the timing stuff. Even with the intention of wholesaling them, we do it right. There's no half-assing Land Rovers around here. So all in all, I have to say this little Rover exceeded my expectations on how it turned out. And we brought it about 95% of the way. Why did we do that? Well, we have a lot of cars around. A lot of Land Rovers, a lot of other things. And as some of you probably know, the market is pretty high. And not a huge wholesaler, but when the market's high and you got too many cars around, now's a good time to put it up on the wholesale market. And that allows us to do it a little quicker. We don't have to do all the final detail work. We leave a little room on the bone for someone else to take it to 100%. Even though right now this would make a good car. Wouldn't even have to do anything else if you didn't want to. But we let a little meat on the bone, let another dealer buy it, take it the rest of the way. A couple little interior pieces, a couple here, there, but runs awesome, drives awesome, looks awesome. And this one is sold. Moving on to the next guy. And I think they'll be happy. I think the new owner, after they sell it, will be happy. And I'm happy to say we saved another one. So if you want to see any more of this, just let me know down below if you enjoy seeing us bring them back to life, especially if it's on the wholesale side. We got other cars. We do this all the time. I got one super nasty one. Let me run back and show you that. This thing has been sitting for years. Would you guys want to see a cleanup video on this? This is like a hazmat suit cleanup. I think this may be an interesting video. So if you want to see a super in-depth detail on a pretty nasty car, comment down below. Let me know if you'd like to watch me get down and dirty on that one. So with that being said, if you found this video entertaining, informative, or if you like me, give us a like down below. That helps us out with YouTube and makes this more fun for us. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. We'll have some more used car business in the future, more Land Rover business, and sometimes both those combined. Same video. Isn't that nifty? But as always, appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Have a good night. I'd bore her to death. She has to lay in the sun and read her book.